You ever notice most of my videos start off with me drinking coffee? I don't know why that is. Probably because I drink a lot of coffee. That could be. Got something under my fingernail. I am going today, no mowing. I'm warming the truck up right now. It doesn't really need to warm up, but it's like, I think it's like 60, 62 degrees outside right now. Close. It's 59. And, 59 degrees, and it's supposed to get up to like in the 70s today, I think. 72, 73, I don't know. That's pretty nice, I'll take it. It sure the hell looks like it's gonna rain right now, but I'm just going like less than a mile from my house to one of my customers and trimming a set of hedges. It's like a long hedgerow, and she doesn't even own it. The neighbors own it, but I trim it for her every year, and the neighbors could care less as long as they don't have to do it and they don't have to pay for it. They're older and they don't care either way, but she doesn't like it because it blocks her view, my customer. And I already trimmed it once in the spring, and now I'm going to trim it again. She's been asking me for like, well, she asked me like 2.5 weeks ago. She says, whenever you get time, and I mow it every Thursday, and I keep telling her, like, I'm going to get there, I promise. I've just been behind. She's like, just relax. Don't worry about it. But I feel bad because I know she'd really like it done. So I was able to get caught up with all my mowing this week, so now I'm going to do that, which shouldn't take me long at all. And then I'm going to come back and service the walker, which is overdue. It needs to be greased like crazy. But I did spend $300 like a month ago, and I bought a battery-operated Milwaukee grease gun, and it is awesome. And the reason it's awesome is because my buddy bought one a while back, and I've used his a few times, and I wanted one. I just wasn't sure. I'm like, I didn't want to spend the money, but then I'm thinking, I got 2 trucks with 1 million grease fittings, especially this one. With there's like 30 grease fittings on the dump unit alone. And then I have 7 mowers with, you know, most of them have a whole bunch of grease fittings. The Tiger Cat barely has any, because everything on these new Tiger Cats are all sealed units. So, but there's not that many. But the Walker's got like 50 of them. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna do it. And I mean, it's nice. You put the cartridge tube in there. You set the dial for how much grease you want to come out and how fast you want it to come out. If there's any air in the tube, you hit a button on the side. It goes, and it pisses the air out. So no more like unscrewing the cap almost all the way, pushing the rod back in, and then screwing it in slowly as the air seeps out, hoping you got all the air out. You don't have to worry about none of that stuff. Pull the trigger. Done. So I haven't even used it yet. It came in this really nice hard case with clips on it. So I'm not going to do a review on it. That's just my opinion of it. I don't do reviews. There's other channels for that garbage. You can go there and get their reviews. I'll just give you my opinion on it. But anyway, so I'm going to go trim these hedges up. And if you ever don't like something in my video, just click off it or fast forward through it. Find a part you like. If you don't like any of it, move along. I've been getting people lately that have been like, you know, get to the point. You do a lot of talking in your videos, this and that. Nobody asked you, and nobody gives a shit. If you don't like it, move on. There's, you know, I average, I mean, I'm not a huge channel by any means, but I average 1,000 views per video, 800 to 1,000, somewhere in there. Some of my videos have well over 1,000. I think I got 1 or 2 of them that have over 14,000. People apparently like the videos I make, and I enjoy making them, and I'm just sharing my day and what I do. So you know, if you don't like it, move along. I don't really care if you like it, and I'm not going to stop it just because 1 or 2 people post something on there that they don't like the way I made the video. So, you know, if you don't like it, move along. If you do like it, then, you know, thanks, and I'll keep making more. But I'm not going to stop making them because somebody says, oh, you know, I don't really like the talking you do in your video. You know, it is what it is, man. a lot of people do like it. So that's that. All right, let's trim some hedges. Okay, so you have those long hedgerows here. That's the view through there. She has a side door over there. This is my customer's yard. I mow this one here and that one over there where all the trucks are. But it belongs to those people over there, this hedgerow. That little part was added on later and that's kind of hers, I guess, but this is all. It was up, it was pushing all these branches up when I trimmed it in the spring. It's like that every year. And I knock it way down. They're far from perfect. There's so many weeds and little saplings growing up through it, it's ridiculous. But they've been here forever and she doesn't care what they look like, she just wants them hacked down. So a couple times a year I come in and hack them down for her, keep the price really low because of that. Over the years when I had guys working for me, they used to pick on me and call me Picasso because when I trim hedges I get very, very picky about them and I make sure they're perfect. So it's odd for me to come in and just hack down a set like this and just get the saplings off and all the shoots off the top and the sides. I mean, they don't look horrible, but it's far from what I would normally do. But that's what she wants, and I try to keep the price low for her, so I do that much anyway. But let's get it cleaned up. Really quick. I knew it wouldn't take long. And the best part about trimming them this time of year is the brush and leaf pickup for all the towns in my area, which is nice, because then I don't have to haul anything away. And I'd forgotten about that, so I brought the brute garbage can with me that I put all my stuff in when I trim and dump in the back of the truck, so that I could dump the stuff in the back of the truck. And turns out I didn't have to do that. So yeah, that makes things nicer. Full show. So really quick, and like I said, nothing special, nothing too big, nothing picky. She just wants them, just the tops cut off them, and she doesn't even care about the sides. I just trim the sides up anyway, the shoots that stick out. She just wants the tops knocked off so she can see through from her door to the street. It's a dead-end street with a big turnaround. You know, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only six houses on that street. So she just wants it knocked off so she can see cars coming in and out, like when her daughter comes and picks her up for doctor's appointments, things like that. You know? So quick and easy. And I probably could have done it anytime I go there to mow. I've been so behind with all the rain and everything else, I just haven't had time. So you gotta squeeze in when you can. Thank God I have, you know, customers like her that are understanding to that. But now it's time to go service that walker. Alright, you guys are just gonna hear me talk. This is gonna be a very unprofessional video of maintenance on the walker. I did hear a little bit of sound. This is a 7/16, by the way. These are both 7/16 bolts. I did hear some sound over the last couple days when I was mowing. Nothing to be too alarmed about, but sometimes it just means that the fluid is a little bit low in the gearboxes, which I usually check them pretty often. So I'm not overly alarmed, but you take that off, pull those out. You have an Allen key there, Allen screw there, Allen screw there, Allen screw there. Now that's where you put your fluid. You want to make sure these are clean before you go pulling any of these screws out, because you don't want, it's just like the rear end of a vehicle, okay, the axle, in anything hydraulic. You don't want stuff in there. Hydraulic systems, gear oil systems, they're very finicky, and they do not like dirt. So a lot of people say, oh, you got to fill this one up, you got to fill this one up, you got to fill this one up. This tube is hollow except for the gears that run through it. You can put it in this one or this one and then just wait. Fill it up to the top and then just wait. Let it sit for like 10-15 minutes. The fluid will drain down through and it'll level itself out. You don't have to fill each one of these. If you fill this one at the top, or no, I fill them about 3/4 of the way up. So if you fill this one to the top, or 3/4 of the way, and you cap it, then you come over here and you fill this one 3/4 of the way and cap it. By the time you're done, you have too much fluid in here. Okay, when you have too much fluid in there, you could blow out seals, you could do all kinds of damage to it. So fill one of them, pull the screw off the other one, and wait till they both equal up to the level that you want it, and you only have to fill through one of them. Okay, this is a 3/16 Allen screw. Just put it in, break it free, and you can spin it free. I do the same thing over the other side, like I said, spin it free. So then you can look down in and see. This one here doesn't look too bad, looks a little bit low. And this one looks a little bit low as well. Okay, now what I put in them is 80/90. You can use, usually I use the Lucas gear oil 80/90. It just all depends on what I have. But like I said, I usually check them often enough that it doesn't matter
if the Lucas is just, it's thicker, it's heavier weight, and that's what the manual tells you to use, is something that's heavier weight. I can't remember exactly how they word it, but something that's heavier weight. You especially should be checking these a lot more often if you have a leak, if you notice a leak somewhere. Okay, I filled that right to the top. I wish I could like show you right down in there, but you can see already it's dropping. Now if that was sealed right off and it wasn't leveling itself out, why would that be going down? Where's it going? So that just shows you that it's going somewhere. It's going across, it's leveling itself out. Now what I do is I'll wait a little while and then I'll watch this side and see where it raises up to there. Once they're level and I got them to where I want them, then I'll cap them and I'm done. This is my Milwaukee grease gun. This is the case that it came in, and that's it. It has a 4-foot hose on it, and it comes with the charger, comes with the battery. It's a smaller battery. My buddy has the 5.0s. Those are nice, and they even make a 9.0, which is really nice. But pretty much, I'll show you. It has all the different settings on, 1, 2, 3, and you can judge how much you want to go in there. So I mean, it'll pump a lot of grease through there, that's for sure. And to figure out where it's at, all you gotta do is put on one of the settings, pull the trigger, and see how much is coming out. It has the light right there, and this is what it sounds like, and that's it. And pumps grease out. It has 1 and 2 for your speeds, and then it's, when it's not in the case, you can just put it through here, or comes through this side and then locks in there. But it trying to remember, there's the button right there. You press it in when you have the tube in there, and it lets all the it lets the air pressure out from any air that's in the tube, and you just load it the same way you do a regular grease gun. It's pretty nice. It so I haven't even put any grease in it yet. I'm gonna put some grease in it, and while I'm waiting for this to go down, you can see, I don't know how well you can see that, but it was right to the top. It's down about 1/4 of an inch right now. And this one over here, you really can't see in there, but it's coming up. So while I'm waiting for that to level out, because it takes quite a while, it's gear oil. It's thick, it moves slow. So be patient, it's gonna take a while. But while I'm waiting for that, I'm gonna load this grease gun up with grease and start greasing. Alright, well, those leveled out, and I put the bolts back on there and screwed it back on. Apparently the battery in the grease gun really only had a little bit of juice in it, and it was dead, so it wasn't pushing any grease through. So I plugged that in, but it ain't going anywhere, so I'm sure you guys will see that in many other videos in the future. These things here, when I got this deck, all these pads were gone. And I just kind of looked at a picture online to see where they're supposed to be, and I went and bought these. They're cheap. They're like 12 by 12, or you can get them 5 by 12 pieces of them from Harbor Freight. They're like $2-3, and I cut them up and peeled the sticky stuff off the back and put them on. Well, they didn't hold very well. They've been on here all year, but they're peeling off, some of them. Some of them are holding all right. I think there's one like this one here. You can see it, the residual. It peeled off, and I put Gorilla Glue under it, and look, it's still coming off. See? So I'm going to scrape the rest of that off there, and I'm going to do, this one's coming off too. I'm going to do this one, and these ones are the ones I use the most. I really don't use these. So I'm going to do these 4 here, and I think I have some left over. I do, from the ramp. This 3M, it's sticky stuff, and it's like sandpaper type crap. So I'm going to cut this up, and I'm going to put it on there. And like I was saying, oh, there's the old blower housing. That's the old 10-inch fan. Look at that. It's solid. That thing's like new all the way around. I'm pretty sure it's the original one in there, but it's solid. There's no holes in it. It's in good shape. There's the cover that goes on. There's the mount. I bent that a little bit. That'll have to be bent back out a little bit. No big deal. But there's the front part that your tube goes into. There's the cover that goes on there, and then the housing. And this is just a 10-inch fan. You can see, now that it's out, you can see where it's split right in half. and mangled it all up. These things are expensive as hell, but I'm just gonna toss it. If somebody wanted to rebuild it, they would just have to buy the new fan and then the new bearings that go in the back right there, and that's what they would have to do. So if anybody has that old style with a 10-inch and they could use that or want it, you can have it for free. Pay the shipping. I'm not paying it. That thing's heavy. I'm not paying the shipping to send it to you, so pay the shipping on it and get in touch with me and you can have it for free. I don't care. Get it out of here. I'm throwing it in the garbage anyway. So yeah, by the way, an update on that. I absolutely love this new seat that I put on a while back. Super comfortable. Look how dirty this is. See why I need to do maintenance? There's so many. See, that grease is kind of fresh. I've kept up on most of all this greasing, but there's a couple little things. There's grease fittings down in there most people don't even know about. Those need greased, I know that. And there's a few other grease fittings underneath need greased, but most of the stuff has been greased. This here, it looks like somebody like half-ass welded that at one point. I'd like to straighten that back out and re-weld it, but other than that, she's good to go. I'm just gonna check everything else out and go over it, but you guys have asked, a bunch of you guys have asked before, why don't I ever go to GIE? Well, I'll tell you why I don't go to GIE, because I buy too many toys. Like the I spend a lot of money on a lot of other stuff that's just more important to me than GIE. My plan is to try to get there next year. If I don't, I don't. It's not a big deal to me at all. I'd love to meet a lot of these guys in person, a lot of you guys in person, but it's just not a huge deal to me to spend that kind of money on it when I could spend it on the things that make me happy every single day and the things that I like. For instance, the mailman just showed up and he brought me 7 packages. That's like an everyday thing around here. FedEx, UPS, or USPS, the mailman. Every single day they're in my driveway. My neighbors think it's hilarious, but between my wife and I, we're constantly ordering stuff online. But, you know, so I mean, that's where the bulk of my money goes. But anyway, 2 new sweatshirts I just ordered showed up today, and so I'm gonna go downstairs and print out my logo on vinyl and make sweatshirts out of it. So let's go do that. Vinyl Master LTR. It's the advanced program that I bought. A regular Vinyl Master comes with it. Don't even comment about how much of a mess it is down here. I'm well aware, okay, as you're looking around. But this is my vinyl cutter. It is USCutter MH721 MK2. And there's my press. I'm not even sure the brand of this. I think it's just a US cutter again, and it works great. This is yeah, I make my own yard signs. They're expensive as hell if you buy them. I make my own. I just ordered this roll the other day of chrome. That's pretty sweet. This is all for decals. I got a ton of my bandanas up there I make. You guys see me wear them. These are the 2 new sweatshirts that come in. They're nice. It's all hunting stuff. I have a ton of it. I have diamond plate vinyl. A lot of this, I have so many colors in here. A lot of this is all for vinyl decals. There's the rest of that roll of the diamond plate. A lot of it's for heat transfer as well. But so we're just going to, I'll show you. Alright, I don't know how long this bear is going to last, but let me see. Oh, that's the big roll I use to make the decals on my trailer, but this is the color that I ordered to make these sweatshirts. But anyway, so I put my logo on here on the program. I make it the size I wanted, and what I'm going to do now is, if I can remember, I'm going to hit duplicate because I'm making 2 of these. And I will put that underneath there, and it's pretty simple. And then I'm gonna send to cutter. It shows 2 of them there. I have it just over 11 inches wide. I can go like 14 inches on that and still be alright, but the vinyl itself is only 12 inches. So I have it clicked in mirror so it prints backwards. We're gonna hit cut now and proceed with cutting. So, and that's it. It's just gonna cut. I always cut all of my stuff on cut speed 500 and the pressure 100 grams. If I go more than that, it crinkles the paper up. It's too much pressure. I don't like it. So we're up to 223 degrees. I'm gonna, once it gets up around 300, 320, I'm gonna press it down for a second just to smooth this out, and then I'll put the vinyl on there and make the sweatshirt, and I'll show it to you after that. Or I'll show it to you while I'm doing that, if I can find somewhere to mount this before the camera dies. Okay, I hope this camera lasts long enough to do this. I'm going to separate these two, and I'm going to weed this one out real quick. I want the camera to last long enough so I can film me putting it on the sweatshirt, but I don't know. I should have charged it. Pretty much just, this is called weeding out for any of you guys that don't know. You just pull this stuff off here, and when you get around the small parts, you got to be careful that you don't shred it. It's not as delicate as you would think, but you know, you just don't go crazy with it, that's all. It's not a big deal really. Some stuff peels off a lot easier than others. It just depends on the type of vinyl you're using. Woo! But what I do is I just kind of go through it. I have a whole different set of tools over here, and the tools are cheap if you guys wanted to get into this. The reason I did it is because they want way too much money for making my shirts, lettering my trucks. You've seen the lettering I did on my trailer, all that stuff. I mean, they're just out of control expensive. I'll give you a little hint. I paid $9 a piece for them sweatshirts, ordering them on eBay, and total I paid for this roll of vinyl is 12 inches wide by 3 foot long, and it was I think I paid $12 for it, for the roll. And I'm only using, I mean, these are 4 inches tall by 11, just over 11 inches long, so I'm barely using any of the roll at all to make 2 sweatshirts. So I probably have maybe $10 into each sweatshirt, whereas they would charge me in my area $25, $30 a sweatshirt to have one of these made, at least that much. So I mean, it just gives you an idea on what it costs and what I'm saving by doing it myself. And I like it. It's fun to me. So, and once you got it all weeded out, I just flip it over, take a look at it in the light, make sure that I got all the centers of the letters out, all that fancy stuff, and good to go. This here is, it's up to like 330 degrees. It's not calibrated dead on, so it's not exactly where you don't want to touch that. That'll burn the hell out of you. But I get it on here to roughly where I want it. I just pull this down, my timer starts counting down, and I hold this down for, I don't know, like 10 seconds. I don't even think you have to do it for that long. And what it does is it will take all the wrinkles and everything out of it, and it smooths it right out. See, so now I have a nice smooth area to work with. And so what I'm going to do is now I will take that one that I made and I get it as straight as I possibly can. I never get them perfect. I don't know why. But you can't really tell anyway unless you're right up on it. I usually get them pretty darn good actually. And I can put it on And I can move it. And what I do is, for hooded sweatshirts, I grab them and I pull the hood down a little bit because I want to know where the hood's going to be when I wear the sweatshirt, because I don't want to cover it up. So that's going to be too high. So what I do is I just kind of move it down to like here. Get it straight, pull the hood down. Now I'm not going to be covering that up when I'm wearing it. So I put it on and smooth it out. And then I pull this down and it locks down. And I just let it sit there till my timer counts down. And then once my timer counts down, it'll beep when it's done. Peel it up. Oh, usually you have to peel this right off, but I didn't. Maybe it was a little too long on this one. Maybe this vinyl's a little different, but so I don't know if you can see it, but that's it. Now it's on there, and I just made my own sweatshirt. So all you do is you make sure that you don't wash them for 24 hours after you put this on, and then after that you can wash it. And see, look right there, you see it? I missed weeding that little spot out. You can see how it's cut out. That's not supposed to be in there. See? That's why you got to be careful. But yeah, so now it's done. That's what you got to do. Make them yourself.